Good afternoon. Welcome to the 45th Oklahoma Governor's Arts Award Ceremony. I am Tracy Chapman, chairman of the 15-member governor-appointed Oklahoma Arts Council. I would like to thank you all for joining us today. As we have been waiting the start of this afternoon's ceremony, we have enjoyed the amazing talents of guitarist Edgar Cruz. Mr. Cruz is a prolific artist who performs more than 300 times each year and has played in settings around the world. He has performed at festivals across Oklahoma for decades. We are pleased to present him in performance before today's ceremony as a special tribute to former Oklahoma Arts Council Executive Director Betty Price, who championed Mr. Cruz's talents and developed a close friendship with him throughout his artistic journey. Please join me in thanking Edgar for providing such an enchanting music leading up to the start of our ceremony. Edgar will also perform during the reception that follows this ceremony on the second floor. We look forward to enjoying more music by him at the reception. The Governor's Arts Awards is a prestigious and long-standing event that brings together people from across our state under the dome of this historical capital, which is a place where important decisions are made almost daily. Many of those tasked with making these important decisions are in attendance with us today. They have joined us in this beautiful rotunda because they value the diligent, passionate, and selfless dedication of those whom we are here to honor. I would like to recognize and to thank the following individuals who may be in attendance with us. If you are a Supreme Court Justice, an elected state official, a member of the Governor's Cabinet, a state senator, a state representative, will you please stand so that we may recognize you? Thank you for making time in your schedules to celebrate the work of our honorees. We are grateful for your service to our state. The Oklahoma Governor's Arts Awards has been a tradition since 1975. For more than 4 decades, the governor of the state of Oklahoma and the Oklahoma Arts Council have honored hundreds of Oklahomans who, through their investment of time, effort, and resources, have made significant contributions that have impacted our communities and our schools through the arts. This afternoon, we honor 14 individuals and 4 organizations who stood out among an abundance of compelling nominees submitted by people across the state. The number of nominees we receive for these honors always exceeds the number we can award. The difficult task of reviewing nominations and selecting honorees falls on a committee of citizens who spend hours of their time reading and deliberating. This year, members of the government-appointed Oklahoma Arts Council who accepted the challenge of selecting today's recipients include Darlene Parman, Barbara Brott, Stephanie Grober, and Charles Moore. We appreciate their work on this. These individuals served on our 15-member governor-appointed council. They are essential to providing citizen oversight to our agency. As supporters of the arts, these individuals volunteer their time to ensure that the arts are a part of every Oklahoman's life. I would like to take this opportunity to express our appreciation for their service to our state. If you are a current or a past member of the Oklahoma Arts Council Board, would you please stand and be recognized? In my time on the board of the Oklahoma Arts Council, I have seen firsthand the dedication of the agency's staff of public servants. This small but mighty team works hard every day to build a more creative, vibrant, and prosperous Oklahoma. Not only do they work with organizations large and small in every corner of the state so that all Oklahomans can benefit from the arts, but they also take care of these priceless artworks surrounding us in the rotunda and engage us throughout this historical building. Every single staff member of the Oklahoma Arts Council is committed to ensuring that our state can prosper from a robust, healthy, and vibrant arts sector. For organizing today's event, I would like to thank the Oklahoma Arts Council Executive Director, Amber Sharples, and her staff. If you are a staff member, would you please stand? Today's honorees join an extensive yet exclusive list of Oklahomans who have distinguished themselves through their extraordinary dedication to embracing and employing the positive power of the arts. As you can see in their biographies in your program, the stories of our honorees offer a tapestry of unique and compelling individual efforts. Each story stands out for how it has touched lives, fostered dreams, created opportunities, and built opportunity and communities. Each story ultimately depicts someone who has made a positive difference in our state. While the arts are often sought for their abilities to advance our economy, education, and quality of life, they should always first be recognized for their most essential attributes, their power to transform lives. Today's honorees ground us in that truth, and their stories bring us back to the central purpose of our investment in the arts. So we gather in this rotunda this afternoon to thank them and bestow what we hope is a recognition fitting of their singular and inspirational efforts. From rural towns such as Tishomingo, Chandler, Renniesville, and Marlow, to the urban neighborhoods of Tulsa, Moore, and Oklahoma City, today's honorees are making a difference. While there may be great variety in the type of work they do and the communities they impact, Governor's Arts Awards honorees possess a shared belief that the arts are worthy of an investment of time and resource. Together, they illustrate what it takes for the arts to flourish. At the Oklahoma Arts Council, we often hear from people about the special significance of the Governor's Arts Awards. For our council and staff, few things make us as proud as when we hear this. It tells us that the spirit of the awards, which are presented in this historic venue in the company of the state's elected leaders, resonates deeply with those whom we honor. I hope each of our honorees knows how truly appreciated you are. At this point, I have the privilege of introducing you to someone who has shown an unwavering belief in the ability of Oklahomans to ascend to new heights. This is someone who understands the value of the efforts put forth by our honorees, knowing that as we scale beyond what we think possible, we will depend on the dedication of the great Oklahomans like these. This afternoon, I am honored to have the opportunity to invite to the podium the highest elected official in the state of Oklahoma, the Honorable J. Kevin Stitt, Governor of the great state of Oklahoma.
Thank you. Thank you. Good afternoon. Thanks, everybody, and welcome to the greatest state, the greatest capital in the entire United States of America. Don't we have a wonderful capital? It's amazing. And I'd like to begin by offering my condolences on the passing of Oklahoma cultural icon Scott Momaday. Many of you in this room undoubtedly knew him, and Scott's legacy will forever live in our hearts, and I hope that today is part of his celebration of life. You know, it's an honor to be here with you. It's something I look forward to as governor, and I want to thank Tracy Chapman, the chair, and your family's been a great ranching family in Ardmore, Oklahoma for a long, long time, and we thank you for your service to our state. And Amber Sharples, you do an amazing job of leading the Art Council, and think of you as a friend. And your team that organizes these events every year, it doesn't just happen. I know there's a lot of hard work that goes into planning these things. And thank you for all of you folks around our state that come to celebrate with us. But the Arts Council does fantastic work cultivating and preserving Oklahoma's art history. From the Capitol to the governor's office to the governor's mansion, it's just amazing what they're able to do all across our state. Art is really, really special to me and my family. My daughter, Natalie, my oldest daughter, is a really, really good artist, okay? I'm not just a dad telling you that. A shameful plug, you can check her out at nataliestitt.com. But she just graduated from Baylor and from the honors program. And first person to ever do this, she did her senior thesis on art. And her senior thesis highlighted the humanity of disabilities through art. And she posed the question, you know, what are we losing if those with disabilities are excluded? And how can those with disabilities be ethically portrayed in art? And so that was what our senior thesis was on, and just so proud of her and her growth as an artist. So just thank you for allowing me to be a dad for a second and brag on my daughter. But this year marks the 45th anniversary of the Governor's Arts Award, and I'm honored to continue to carry this torch. Over those 45 years, we've literally recognized hundreds of Oklahomans for their work. And just earlier today, the Arts Council met and approved almost $10 million for grant programs all across the state of Oklahoma. So thank you. The individuals we'll award today will join an exclusive fellowship of honorees who've built an incredible arts community across our state. Oklahoma artists and creatives are known worldwide for their talent, their skill, their creativity. And it's amazing to see the work being done in the arts in places all over. And Tracy mentioned a few of those, but Muskogee and Duncan and Chandler, Grove, and of course, Tulsa and Oklahoma City. But for so many of our rural communities, the arts can be an economic powerhouse, offering opportunities to create unique experiences that bolster tourism, trade, and the economy at large. As Oklahoma pursues other industries like AI and data centers and aerospace and defense, we need the creative and the innovative skills cultivated by arts education. Oklahoma's art scene is partly why I believe we're one of the best states in the country for businesses. Creative people are drawn to creative places, and families want to live where there are abundant cultural amenities, and your community really thrives and does that so well. But businesses want to go where there are innovative thinkers. Top 10 states have several things in common. One of those things is having a dynamic art scene. And I believe creativity is the ultimate expression in freedoms that we love so much in our country. I believe that God blesses each of us with unique talents and abilities, and today's honorees represent the very, very best of art in the great state of Oklahoma. So I want to congratulate the honorees. With that, I want to turn it over to you, Amber, to present the awards. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you, Governor. Your participation, your words, your encouragement, and your support are essential and truly valued. And we appreciate your time and your investment of both ARPA from you and the legislature, which will be transformational for our sector and state. Good afternoon. I'm thrilled to see a packed house in the People's House. My name is Amber Sharples. I'm the Executive Director of the Oklahoma Arts Council, and today is a very important day. I want to echo Tracy's expression of appreciation for your attendance, Governor, and for all of you who have joined us. This event is one of the most rewarding investments our staff gets to make on behalf of our state. Our role in this, as public servants, is only possible because of your presence and support of the honorees. This is the 45th time we have presented the Governor's Arts Awards. The roots of the awards go back to former Executive Director Betty Price, who helped shape the vision for this event, which was first presented in 1975. Betty was a consummate public servant, and it is in the spirit of this service that these awards are bestowed. So without further ado, I would like to invite Governor Stitt and Council Chair Tracy Chapman to the front of the stage to present the awards for this year's recipients. As I call your name, please make your way to the front and allow us to show our gratitude for your service to the arts in Oklahoma. This year, we recognize two individuals with the prestigious Governor's Award. Through longtime devotion, leadership, and generosity, these recipients stood out as worthy of this recognition. The first Governor's Arts Award recipient is Ann Barker Ong of Muskogee. Ann Barker Ong has been a driving force in the arts in Muskogee for more than 40 years. Arts and cultural institutions citywide have benefited from her faithful contributions of time, energy, funding, and resources. From her central role in high-profile projects like the construction of Muskogee Little Theater's $7 million building, to her less heralded efforts, such as arranging professional voice instruction for local students, Ong has been a relentless, passionate servant for the arts and making a difference on the arts in every scale of the community. Once again, Governor's Arts Award honoree, Ann Barker Ong. The second Governor's Arts Award recipient is Holbrook Lawson of Tulsa. Holbrook Lawson has dedicated countless hours over many years serving in volunteer leadership roles for the arts and cultural nonprofits in Tulsa, such as serving on the Tulsa Arts Commission, Philbrook Museum of Art, 108 Contemporary, as well as her statewide impact in strengthening arts education and her board service on the Oklahoma Arts Institute, among others. In these roles, she has translated actions and ideas into action, connecting visions for a big picture with people equipped to execute those visions. Lawson's efforts have strengthened organizations and bolstered arts programs, benefiting thousands of Oklahomans. Again, Governor's Arts Award honoree, Holbrook Lawson. The late Earl Sneed set the standard for Oklahoma businesses and corporations that exhibit outstanding support of the arts in Oklahoma. The Business in the Arts Award was created in his honor. Two honorees were selected this year to receive a Business in the Arts Award. The first honoree is American Fidelity of Oklahoma City. Accepting the award is Tom McDaniel, president of the American Fidelity Foundation. American Fidelity, Business in the Arts. The second honoree is Leap Coffee Roasters of Oklahoma City. Accepting the award is owner Carrie Starkey. Leap Coffee Roasters, Business in the Arts. The Media in the Arts Award was created in honor of Bill Crawford, a veteran newsman who contributed to the arts through his work as a journalist. This award is presented in recognition of outstanding efforts to make Oklahomans aware of the diversity of arts experiences across our state. This year, one honoree's work stood out in the Media in the Arts Award category. This year's honoree is Ryan LaCroix of Blanchard. Ryan LaCroix, Media in the Arts Award. Five honorees were selected this year for the Arts and Education Award, which recognizes an individual, organization, school, educator, or group for their outstanding leadership and service in the arts benefiting youth or arts and education. The first recipient this year is Dwee Williams of Oklahoma City. Dwee Williams, Arts and Education. The second recipient is Jenna Telford of Chandler. Jana Telford, Arts and Education. The third recipient is Sharon Autone Harjo of Oklahoma City. Sharon Autone Harjo, Arts and Education. The fourth recipient is Penny McGill of Muskogee. Penny McGill, Arts and Education. The final recipient in this category is Trey Hayes of Tishomingo. Trey Hayes, Arts and Education. Four individuals are being honored today with the Community Service Award. Each has demonstrated exemplary efforts in leadership or volunteerism, impacting their communities through the arts. The first recipient in this category is Darcy Reeves of Marlow. Darcy Reeves, Community Service. The second recipient in this category is Selby Minor of Renaysville. Selby Minor, Community Service. The third recipient is Susan E. Brackett of Oklahoma City. Susan E. Brackett, Community Service. The fourth and final recipient is Suzanne Bowles of Grove. Suzanne Bowles, Community Service. Our next category in this afternoon is the George Nigh Public Service in the Arts Award. This award recognizes Oklahoma government officials and leaders in public service for outstanding support of the arts. The award was created in recognition of the Honorable George Nigh, who happens to be with us today, a longtime supporter of the arts who served in the state legislature as lieutenant governor and governor, as a university president. This year, we are proud to recognize an elected official. Yay! This year, we are proud to recognize an elected official whose vision and efforts have warranted the receipt of this award. Unfortunately, Senator Kevin Matthews was unable to be with us today, but we are thrilled to be able to recognize Oklahoma State Representative Mark McBride of Moore. Representative Mark McBride, Public Service in the Arts. Our final category is a special recognition category, which we often present to individuals or organizations that have made unique contributions to the arts in Oklahoma. This year, we are proud to recognize two organizations with this award, as they recently both celebrated significant milestones of more than 50 years of service to our state. Our first honoree is Mid-America Arts Alliance. Accepting the award is President and CEO Todd Stein. Mid-America Arts Alliance Special Recognition Award. Our second honoree is Oklahoma Museums Association. Accepting the award is Executive Director Brenda Granger, who also recently celebrated her 20th anniversary with OMA. Oklahoma Museums Association Special Recognition. This completes the presentation of our state slate of honorees for the 45th Oklahoma Governor's Arts Awards. Please help me give a final round of applause to all of our honorees. With each presentation of the Governor's Arts Awards, a group of deserving Oklahomans is given the spotlight for what we hope is a recognition that they will never forget. The opportunity to shine the light on these and hundreds of other Governor's Arts Award honorees over 4 decades originated in large part through the vision and stewardship of one person. Betty Price left an indelible mark on the arts in our state and on the Oklahoma Arts Council as the official state arts agency. For 33 years, Betty served on staff with the Oklahoma Arts Council. Out of those 33 years, she was executive director for 24. She retired in 2007, having completed a career working under the administrations of 7 different governors. This past fall, Betty passed away, and we lost a giant in the arts. When considering how we could best pay tribute to Betty's legacy, this year's Governor's Arts Awards was a natural choice. Betty was the primary author of these awards, a tradition through which more than 800 Oklahomans have been honored. From the diligent, unassuming volunteer whose work is a cornerstone for an organization, to the lionized and history-shaping icon, such as N. Scott Momaday, who we also lost this last week. These Oklahomans are celebrated and recorded for time immemorial as a result of Betty Price. With us today are the members and friends of Betty's family. I would like them to take a moment that we can recognize them and ask them to stand as we share our appreciation and love for the Price family. We are grateful to you all for joining us and allowing us to pay tribute to your mother. Betty truly embodied the role of public servant. Her passion for arts emerged from her own artistic talents in music and visual arts, as well as an early career in education. She understood the value of lifting up others whose lives are models of sacrifice. It is with this spirit of appreciation that we carry on the tradition of these awards. Following today's ceremony, when our honorees take home the medallions that they now will don, they will, in essence, take a piece and part of Betty with them. The image on the medallion, which greets visitors as they arrive on the state capitol's South Plaza, As Long as the Waters Flow, by Alan Hauser, was personally chosen by Betty to be the defining image of these awards. The design reflects Betty's astute sense of the grace and dignity that these awards should symbolize. Additionally, our setting for today's ceremony also reflects Betty, as she not only cherished the fourth floor rotunda for its sublime grandeur, benefiting only of these awards, this place, but she also had a significant hand in creating and preserving its grandeur. Select others of many of the artworks, such as Flight of Spirit and others, were personally selected and spearheaded by Betty. Today, our agencies work to expand the Capitol art collections and give Oklahomans and visitors from around the world an unforgettable museum-quality experience owes its origins to Betty's vision. I am also thrilled that we now have a new nonprofit organization, Friends of the Oklahoma Arts Council, that has been established with a mission to accept donations to support the preservation and expansion of the Capitol art collections. Through Friends of the Oklahoma Arts Council, Betty's vision can grow and endure for future generations. Outside of the Capitol building, Betty developed close ties with countless artists and organizations throughout Oklahoma. Among the relationships she forged was one with the Ambassadors Concert Choir here in Oklahoma City. The full choir features more than 80 voices that combine the culture and soul of the African American experience through voice. Betty loved not only their uplifting music and infectious energy, but she also had a commitment and supported their role in giving students of all ages opportunities to develop their vocal talent. At this point in the program, in keeping with the longstanding tradition of presenting performances at the Governor's Arts Awards, I am pleased to present the Ambassadors Concert Choir, whose members will perform 2 songs in honor of Betty.
When you walk through a storm, Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now I'm found, was blind, but now I see.
Thank you so very much to the Ambassadors Concert Choir for that inspired performance. For this afternoon's concluding remarks, I have the distinct honor of being joined by someone whose name is synonymous with the Governor's Arts Awards. George Nigh is one of Oklahoma's most recognizable and enduring public figures. His service to the state began more than 70 years ago and has included terms in the House of Representatives, the Office of Lieutenant Governor, Office of the Governor, and University President. Because of Governor Nigh's impressive and unparalleled career, the Public Service in the Arts Award bears his name. Throughout his career, Governor Nigh was a strong supporter of the arts. In fact, it was he who inspired and passed the legislation for Oklahoma to become our state song, to boost our state's brand image around the world, championing the legislation that made that possible. And because of his close relationship with Betty Price, who was a staff member during his time as Lieutenant Governor, we have asked Governor Nigh to come share a few words in her honor. This will be followed by a finale, a very special song performed by the Ambassadors Choir. Please help me welcome the Honorable George Nigh.
Thank you. What an honor it is for Donna and me to be here today with the Arts Council. Congratulations on all the recipients this year and over all those years. And thank you for all that you've done for Oklahoma. Excuse my voice right now. It's kind of unusual to be following a song. Now I have a cane, and I thought, well, that's appropriate. They sang "You'll Never Walk Alone." But I'm used to people having a reaction. You know, we are at the state capitol. We now have a dome. We now have an Indian on top of it. We've redone the Capitol and all that. And Donna always points out when people would come to the governor's mansion, they would ask her, when was this mansion built? And she said, this mansion was built the same year George was born. And I had it sandblasted. But here I am, and I'm looking at the pictures on the wall, up around. I'm looking over down to the basement, floor, ground floor, the state seal there, knowing that the legislature is here, the governor's office is down over there, and thinking of, I was here just think, Betty Price was here a year longer than I was. I was here 32 years. And so everything I see reminds me of something. The ballerinas, the Native Americans, etc., the pictures on the wall. My gosh, just think where we are at this Capitol and how wonderful it looks today and how it's a tourist attraction. And I was just convinced that I should tell you, if this is your first time here to honor them, come back and tour this Capitol building. It's wonderful. And just think, as you look around, what it would look like. Oh, it would look nice, but if you took down all the pictures that are up today celebrating Oklahomans and their talent, them individually, it's just amazing. You look over here, Jim Thorpe. I bring school kids here. Point to that. You can do it from Oklahoma. World's most best athlete, Jim Thorpe. World's best. It's just amazing. You see Bob Kerr. Bob Kerr never got elected to anything in the U.S. Senate as like President Pro Tem or anything. But Collier's magazine, the day Kerr died, they had a publication out. Coincidentally, Kerr had not even been sick, and they were publishing this article about Kerr, and he died the day it officially was on the market, January 1st, 1963. And his title on the cover of the magazine was The Uncrowned King of the U.S. Senate, the most powerful man in the United States Senate was an Oklahoman. I lived a block and a half from a guy named Carl Albert, whose picture's around him. Carl Albert from Bug Tussle, Oklahoma, was the Speaker of the U.S. House of Representatives, and twice, when there was no vice president, he was a heartbeat away from the presidency. Sequoia. Yes, we're the state of Oklahoma, but just think the Native Americans tried to get there first as the state of Sequoia. And just think, Will Rogers. Just think, Will Rogers, the most popular human being in the world was Will Rogers. And at the same time, he was #1 on Broadway, #1 in the movies, #1 with a newspaper article, #1 with a radio show, and #1 as the most popular man in the world from over at Catoosa and Claremore. And just think, there's a song, Get Your Kicks on Route 66. You go to St. Louis Joplin, Missouri, and Oklahoma City is mighty pretty, and it's right out that door. And the name of the street now is Clara Looper. And what an honor. And you look around and you think of all the people that have done so much for this state, all around, and their artwork. And then you know that there's going to be, or there is, an area for Betty Price. And she was selected as the outstanding state art director in the United States one year. And she's from Yell City. And she was my secretary when I was lieutenant governor. And then I watched her, and I was honored when Governor Boren appointed her from my office up into the Arts Council, and then on and on. 7 different governors, Democrats and Republicans. Just think, an agency head under 7 different governors. That every time a governor was elected, they never changed Betty Price's job because she was it. She was the Arts Council. And now many have followed in her footsteps. And it's an outstanding program for all of Oklahoma. And as you listen to the honorees and you heard not only their names, but their towns, how representative that was of all 77 counties in Oklahoma. And Betty Price, who had this love. Just think, go out this door, and when I was governor, I said, Betty, we got a cowboy standing out there. How come we don't have no engine? She said, what? I said, this state is cowboy and Indian. And so there it is, the great Indians. And just think, Governor Keating, the statue on top of the building now, Enoch Kelly Haney, who was a state legislator, made it. And so as you go through this building, yes, it's the House and the Senate, still some of the Supreme Court, some of the other, but you look on every wall and you see pride in Oklahoma. And so I am happy to be here to celebrate the life, yes, the life, the service, yes, the service of Betty Price, a classic example in a government building. To sit here and say, just think now, we're talking government, maybe politics, we're talking, she served under 7 different governors. That's a public servant. And that's what we're talking about, honoring Oklahomans in whatever field, whatever area. And what an opportunity to be here today. And in my age, I remember the show that The Price is Right. And the last time I was speaking about Betty, I said, that always went to my mind when I talked about her and her service. Price was right. She got the right material. She got the right programs. She went to the right places. She toured the whole state. She was right. And she was a servant, a public servant. And Betty's family and Betty's friends, thank you for sharing her with us. And so honored that I am to have been here many, many times for the Arts Council Awards, and honored to have one in my name. But I'm mainly honored by those who served everybody. And the number one classic example in this building a true public servant is the name Betty Price, who went far beyond art in her love for Oklahoma, but she used it to bring us together. And so I'm honored to be here today to celebrate her life. I regret her death, but I'm glad to know that she and Norris are together again. And so right now, I want a round of applause for Betty Price. Thank you. And now I'm going to ask the choir to come back for a closing song. Know what the process was going to be. But not yet. She mentioned the song, I want to mention the play. This legislature passed and created the state song. And the state song came from a play that was a story written by Lynn Riggs from Claremore, Oklahoma. And Rogers and Hammerstein bought the play, Green Grove of Lilacs, and put music to it. And they opened off Broadway. And they said, wait, it's just, and when we introduced the bill to make it the state song, I had a friend who went to high school with me in McAllister, who was the only Oklahoman to ever star as Curly on Broadway. And he'd come home to Tulsa and was selling real estate, and I called him, I said, I want you over here tomorrow, I want you to sing. He came over singing. He told me this story when he came over. That when they first opened the play, Green Grove of Lilacs, nobody got excited. Nobody got excited. So they changed the name. They changed it to Away We Go. They were opening off Broadway, and they said, oh, no one cheers, no one did anything. And they did 3 or 4 names, Philadelphia, Boston. So we're trying to get to Broadway. They said, we need something exciting. And he told me that they were in this meeting, and Mrs. Hammerstein said, well, why don't we name it Oklahoma? And someone spoke up and said, what's exciting about Oklahoma? And she said, let's put an exclamation point behind it and call it Oklahoma. And so today, the play is O-K-L-A-H-O-M-A exclamation point. And that's what the Art Council is trying to do over the years, put that exclamation point in this area. These pictures put the exclamation point on, you can do it from here. So today, let's dedicate ourselves by welcoming back and hear the song Oklahoma with an exclamation point. And join them. We know we belong to the land, yes sir, and the land.
And thank you everyone for joining us today. We will have a public reception on the second floor. 2 floors down, you can go and greet honorees and join us for fellowship. Thank you.